Welcome to BFM TV. I'm your host, James. I want us to focus on how media sometimes relay information to the public. There have been an issue of Kenya Kwanza complaining that the media is biased towards them. And I'll pick two stories this week that made the headlines.
I'm sorry, I need to say this about the chair. I need to say this about the chair.
Tell us about the chair.
It is an orthopedic chair whose physical characteristics include an adjustable armrest, lumbar support, adjustable seat depth, tilt and lock, adjustable height, and a spongy feel. I just had to put that out there.
Jamila, please stop.
Niachie hapo.
Yeah.
Niachie.
Tumalizie tu hapo.
The case of William Oduol, the deputy governor of Siaya. And we had a case of a scandal involving CS Kuria and mafuta ya kupika.
In that meeting held on the 10th of November 2022, Investment, Trade and Industry Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria and his agriculture counterpart Mithika Linturi presented a brief to the cabinet codenamed CAB Inset 2272. That brief was to seek for the importation.
What happened? Look at how the media portrayed these stories. For one, it was very exact that Moses Kuria was involved in the scandal. Very exact, very good information. Let's go to the Siaya. We understand that William Oduol, the deputy governor of Siaya, was impeached on the issue that he used 18 million to renovate his office. And how did it happen? We understand that William Oduol is the person first who complained that in Siaya County we have a misappropriation of funds. But the MCA and the governor focused on impeaching him, and they came up with a story now that this governor a deputy governor, had used 18 million and bought a seat, or used 1 point something million to buy a seat. And when you look at, when I listened to the Senate hearing, I noted that the senators focused so much on testing 1.2 million seat on the one point seat that the deputy governor is claimed to have bought. What I understand is Siaya Governor William Oduol is not the accounting officer of this county. Who is the accounting officer? And my question is, William Oduol, if he used 18 million to invest in his office, he is definitely guilty. But why? Can you see that it was so perfect that once William Oduol raised an issue, why is it that this county tunatumia pesa vibaya? Coincidentally, MCA remembers, oh, this guy used 18 million to renovate his office and bought a seat, 1 point. And we saw that seat, how it looks like. And we can tell, oh, it's more comical. But the question is, why did the Senate, why is it that the media was focusing so much on the case that William Oduol bought a seat 1.2 million or 1 point something million, but forgot this is the man who raised a red flag on how the county is using the funds? Why is it that the media is buying so much on the story that the MCA gave us and not diving into the issue? Why is it that MCA impeached this deputy governor after he raised an issue about misuse of fund? For many people who know, we know that the governor of Siaya is one of the top guys when it comes to Azimio. My question is, when I look at this, I would say this. I want us to pick on how the media is portraying this issue when the scandals are involving Azimio. And when a scandal is involving Kenya Kwanza, my issue is not raised whether Moses Kuria is guilty or not, or William Oduol is guilty or not. That's not my issue here. Because I understand that if both are along, they should go to jail. But punishing William Oduol and forgetting the governor and the MCAs and the county chief officers who are in charge of finance and claiming they are not guilty, we understand very well that the deputy governor is not the accounting officer of the county. And if the deputy governor managed to misuse funds in the watch of the governor and the MCAs, can you tell me how is the governor and the MCA innocent? Can you tell me why is it that the media is focusing to portray William Oduol in a very bad way and forgetting the governor? Why is it that when the citizen had a news gang on Thursday, they focused on the seat and they forgot who is the governor of the county, and they never questioned how did this deputy governor misuse funds in the watch of the governor and the MCAs. And how is it that once the governor complained that the deputy governor complained that the Siaya government is misusing public funds, the MCA and the media focus on the person who raised an issue. Who is here? Can you tell me here? Who is the person here who raised the issue? Is that William Oduol? And how is it that now William Oduol is being fought by the media and the Senate are focusing so much on the deputy governor and forgetting who is the chief there? Because if an officer is misusing funds, if the deputy governor is misusing funds in the eyes of the governor, is the governor not guilty? Can someone explain to me how the Siaya governor and the MCA are clean and the chief officer of finance is clean when it comes to this issue involving William Oduol? But now the deputy governor is the only one who is wrong. He's the one who is guilty. And this is where I feel like when sometimes Moses Kuria is an issue of media bias, when Deputy Gachagua is an issue of media bias, I see somehow there's a kind of a media bias, because how would you focus on the person who is an issue of misappropriation of funds and forget the governor and make the governor becomes the victim here, that William Oduol was using the issue of misuse of fund to attack the governor, and you focus on that, you forget and ask yourself, if the deputy governor misused funds, then it means the governor is wrong. The governor is not in charge of the county. The governor is also guilty. The chief officer is guilty. And how comes that once the deputy governor complained about misuse of fund is when you remember, haya, huyu jamaa alitumia 18 million ku renovate office, alitumia 1 million ku buy office chair. And the media buys that story, focuses on that story, and forget to ask question, how is it coincidental that when the deputy governor asks question about misuse of fund is when you impeach him? Why is the media not asking the question, how did the William Oduol, the deputy governor of Siaya, misuse funds when the governor was there, and you only knew that the government misused funds after raising an issue of misuse of funds? We know very well that someone is being protected by the media. And when I look at a scandal involving Azimio, and when I see how the media portrays a scandal involving Kenya Kwanza, I see double standards. Double standard for sure. Why is it now that the Moses Kuria is guilty and you're not focusing on the PS, who is the more of an accounting officer of a ministry? We're not focusing on the PS, we're focusing on Moses Kuria. But when it comes to the issue of Siaya, we know the governor of Siaya is an Azimio supporter. Why are you focusing on the DG and not focusing on the governor? And the chief accounting officer is not a deputy governor. I want you to disagree with me or agree with me whether you can pick the bias when it comes to this reporting. I'm your host, James. To run the next video.